Overwatch Apex Season 2, energized by HOT6, quarterfinal. Today's matchup, Meta Athena, Africa Freaks Blue.
Welcome to Overwatch Apex Season 2. I'm Doe. With me is Monte Cristo as usual. Today, we begin, good start, right? We begin Group B of the quarterfinals, Meta Athena versus Africa Blue, starting things off. And today, I think, Monte Cristo, is a day of questions. We haven't seen these teams in quite a while. Kind of hard to know what to expect.
Yeah, kind of hard to know what to expect, especially with our second match, LW Blue going up against Kongdu Panthera. Obviously, that's going to tell us quite a bit about who we think is going to go to the playoffs. Even we'll have a much better sense of predictions for semifinals and finals after that, because like you said, it's been a couple of weeks. Now, we are still going to be on patch 1.7, so this is before the Bastion changes. After quarterfinals, we will be changing patches, which is great. Get to play the whole round on one patch, not disturb the professional players too much, and then they will jump forward.
It is pretty awesome. I mean, you don't give that extra edge to someone who's got more experience on the new patch or less experience on the old patch. It's just awkward. So I'm glad that we're sticking through it to the semifinals. But, yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting matchup in our first best of 5. Meta Athena, who looks so good. They're on, like a 19-match win streak right now, going up against Africa Blue, who looked like arguably one of the weakest teams to come out of the group stages and actually make it into the playoffs.
I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat LW Blue's performance. Africa Blue's performance, yes. We can sugarcoat LW Blue's as much as we want.
We don't need to, though, because it's already so sweet.
But Africa Blue, yes, because they came in winning only one match and losing two. And the only reason they even made it here instead of Cloud9 was because they had that head-to-head. C9 ended up with the same number of wins as them in terms of map score. So when we look at their performance, especially the way they ended things with that loss to Konbok Spirit, was not great for them. So they should count themselves lucky to be here, and hopefully with this break they're going to be able to put it together a little bit more and show us some higher play than we saw from them in Season 2.
That's right. Well, here's a look at Group A and the most confusing graphic ever produced by mankind. But what it all ends up in the end is that Runaway and Lunatic High have gotten through to the semifinals. That's where they're going to be. Unfortunately, Envious and Kungdu Uncia not quite making it this season.
Yeah, not making it. Unfortunate for them, but Runaway, the big surprise of that group since they changed out their roster, and especially because they came off of that really brutal loss to Kongdu Panthera, got 3-0'd, retooled everything, looked significantly stronger by role swapping and changing back to some of the players that they had like Bumper in the qualifiers, but had sort of dropped out of the lineup for the first two matches in Apex.
Right, so that brings us to Group B beginning this week, and we're not going to take much time to look at that graphic apparently, but that's okay, it's a mess. Meta Athena versus Africa Blue is our first best of 5 tonight, and then Kongdu Panthera taking on LW Blue. Great set of matches. All these teams have had lots of time to practice. With a team like Africa Blue, we've touched on it a little bit already. They really, really needed it. Excited to see what they can do. And Meta Athena looking so hot in the group stages, the promotion matches, challenger season before that, and yet maybe not the strongest group in the group stages. A lot of questions about both of these teams.
Yeah, Meta Athena is the big question mark because, like you said, they're on a 19 best-of-5 win streak, but only 5 of those best-of-5s have actually been
global fans.
Always exciting to have here, but they've only had 5 of those on LAN.
Yeah.
So there is a caveat with that specific performance, but we can't really ignore the fact that they 3-0'd Envious in the group stage, and we've seen some very tight tank play from them. They have, at times, diversified into other strategies, but they are relatively one note. I mean, if you actually take a look at a lot of their compositions, it's 3 tanks, which are Reinhardt, D.Va, and Zarya, plus Tracer, and they play that in 27% of their total game time, which is a huge amount of time to play a single composition.
Yeah.
So, yes, we've seen some cool things, double sniper attacks, some great diversity from Libero, but for the most part, a large amount of the time, they're playing triple tank and one hit scan carry.
That's right. Towards the end of the season, too, we saw them get a little bit better, bring in Chungsik as their new Reinhardt player who performed surprisingly well, I would say, in the last couple times we saw them play. But it's mostly triple tank. Once in a while they go to 2-2-2. Kind of depends on what Libero is going to play. Is he going to play that D.Va or Zarya, or is he going to swap to something like we've normally seen, like a Reaper or a Pharah?
Well, even Hanzo
sometimes.
He's been wonderful on Hanzo. He's been wonderful on Pharah. So Libero, for me, is actually a rising star. It's been really impressive to see his diversity in his hero pool and how well he can perform. But that doesn't really change the character of that team, which is still almost entirely based around Hoon, their Zarya player. Hoon gets all of the nano boosts, which results in Hoon actually getting 26% more ults per minute than average in this league across all Zarya players. So he's at the top in terms of getting his ult up the most, and everything revolves around Hoon playing forward, Hoon charging his attacks with Zarya, and Hoon hitting those big ults.
Yep, that's right. I mean, they call him Hoon Do-gung here in Korea, which literally translates to Hoon ults again, because he has that Graviton Surge so often on the Zarya. But it's him, and then he usually likes to pair that with the Pulse Bomb coming in from Saya player, their amazingly good hit scan DPS player. He's really good on Tracer. We see him play a lot of 76, of course. And now it's time to get to know our teams a bit better.
메타 아테나 진짜 너무 세네요.
이러면 1승 더추가 19연승 질주.
이제는 떳떳하게 얘기할 수 있죠. 네, 이제 엠비어스도 이겼으니까.
쉽게 8강에 올라왔습니다. 생각보다 큰 차이는 없어요. 챌린저스 팀들과.
아프리카 프릭스 블루 올라갔어요.
경기는 C라인이 이렇게 정말 치열하게 해놓고 오늘 완벽한 조연인데요. 아프리카 프릭스 블루.
이제 더 잘해야죠. 2번 졌는데도 올라왔으니. 저번 시즌 준우승전인데 16강에서 떨어지면 많이 부끄럽잖아요.
남들과는 다른 색다른 전략, 픽과 그런 게 장점이라고 생각해요. 팀들이 이제 저에 맞춰서 공격적인 그런 컬러를 가지고 있다 생각해요. 제가 가장 앞에서 싸우고 딜러 못지않게 딜링도 진짜 잘 넣어서 저에게 나노 강아지를 많이 몰아줘요.
메타 A팀이 가장 붙고 싶은 상대예요. 그 팀도 두 딜러진이 엄청 잘한다고 소문이 나 있거든요. 걔네들이 막 잘한다는 소리 들리면은 저희 팀 딜러들이 막 주먹 꽉 쥐고 막 부들부들해요. 그걸 꺾고 싶어요. 저희 팀의 딜러들은 세계 탑급이죠.
챌린저스 때부터 지금 에이펙스까지 6패 연승으로 계속 오고 있는데 앞으로도 계속 지지 않고 우승까지 노려보겠습니다.
저희는 누가 와도 자신 있어요.
로얄 로더 팀이 돼보겠습니다.
저번 시즌의 영광을 세워야 하기 때문에 더 간절해요. 아, 이 팀이 거품이 아니었구나. 이런 팀으로 불리고 싶어요.
Meta Athena. Tank.
아테나가 중력자탄이거든요.
그렇습니다. 찼어요.
아, 돌아가고 써버리니까.
그리고
자폭 끝날 때.
결국
야,
잡고
리베로
이게.
좋아요.
네.
Hoon. Chungsik. DPS.
방금 때리게 만들고.
Saya player.
공일격 썼죠.
바로 왼쪽에서 쏴버렸어요.
Libero. Support. Nuss. Chris. Meta Athena.
All right, there is Meta Athena, a team with a lot to prove today. If they're able to win this best of 5, they will have gone 20 matches in a row without a loss, which stretches all the way back to their challenger run last season. So, hugely impressive thing this team has put together. Will they be able to continue today? I think this is, it could be anyway, their greatest test yet. Depends on the state Africa Blue is in, but it could be a big test for these guys.
I'm a little bit less enthusiastic about it being their greatest test, considering they did 3-0 SV. Yeah,
it could also be not a test at all.
Yeah,
it could be, right?
Could be. We're going to see how it works out for Meta Athena. We spent a lot of time talking about Hoon and Saya player on this team, but a guy who really has been impressive has been Chris, their Lucio player, who was outstanding against Envy, and one of those top-tier Lucio players in this league. And for a guy in a position and on a hero that doesn't usually generate a lot of head-turning plays, he's been able to get a lot of clutch environmental kills and really make a big difference.
Yeah, he's one of those great Lucio players that not only helps reposition his own team, but does a great job with the right clicks at repositioning people on the other team at crucial moments. We saw that definitely on Volskaya Point B against Envious, I believe, is what stands out to me. But, you know, again, Meta Athena coming in this one really hot, but they've got to prove it. They can't let the stress get to them, and they're going to get some Afrika Blue, the runners-up from last season. Let's get to know them a little bit better. Right about now, maybe? Okay, yeah, let's do it now.
Afrika Freaks Blue. Flex. Mono. Tank. Adam.
그냥 계속
동현. DPS. 아르한.
한명국 팀에 뛰어도 안 하니 선수원의 사이
Recry. Support. Amon. Afrika Freaks Blue.
Ah, yes, when you're piggybacking off a Korean broadcast, there's never an unawkward moment, is there?
Never.
It is how it is. Well, Afrika Blue, they came in second place last season, got stopped by Envious in the grand finals, lost 0-4, came back this season and struggled a bit, only got here on the virtue of C9's poor play rather than the virtue of their own good play. So these guys, if Meta Athena has a lot to prove, I think these guys have even more today.
Absolutely. You don't get into a playoff having a losing record.
Not too often, no.
Have a lot of expectations around you. Afrika Blue, definitely, compared to this team we saw in Season 1, making those roster changes, but a lot of their coordination has fallen by the wayside, more or less. Arhan has been taking questionable duels. Recry has definitely been the most stable and consistent player on this team, but really have to see a lot better teamwork from Afrika Blue, better use of their ult economy if they're going to take a win tonight and actually start playing around each other. The match they played against C9, they won with a lot of sloppy dueling rather than impressive team play.
Well, they've said in the past they want to have sort of a trail of blood style where they just follow Arhan and finish up the kills he started, but lately that has meant they follow the blood trail and they find Arhan dead, like way far away from everyone else, like, oh, there he is. We wonder where he ran off to. So they definitely need to adjust today. You can see that it's been a lot of 2-2-2 for Afrika. Of course, they've got Recry and Arhan, and Recry, I feel like, is a player that's been a little bit overshadowed by Arhan, maybe not because of Arhan's great play, but just because of the personality that kind of stands out on the team. But Recry is easily one of the best DPS in Korea in my mind. And
he's been excellent, starting with a hot streak in the playoffs of last season and continuing even to this point today. So we are going to see Control as our first map. Of course, it will be Ilios, which for sure Meta Athena is going to be thrilled to see. They are 3-0 on Ilios this season. It's been a map they've been highly comfortable on. And Afrika Blue, in spite of changing their roster, they really haven't changed a lot of their strengths as a team. They're still better at Control and Assault than they are at Hybrid and Escort.
Right.
And they've got to, if an Afrika Blue is going to win today, they need to really focus on those map types, because right now they're 0-4 on Hybrid coming in and 1-2 on Escort, so certainly showing a lot of weakness, whereas Meta Athena has been significantly stronger on those map types. This first map is really going to dictate quite a lot about what we see between these two teams.
Yeah, battle of DPS players as well, like you saw in the intro video. Let's see who takes the early lead in this best of 5. Time to get in the game. I get it too. And what I want to get is a great best of 5, and I think we will. I think at least one of the matches today is going to be a really good one. Meta Athena versus Africa Blue. Meta Athena in the blue. Africa Freaks in the red, naturally.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's how Overwatch works these days.
Yep.
Someday
It's
we're
pretty
going to
par
be
for the
able
course.
to set team colors and
Yeah.
have them stick for an entire best of 5. That would be absolutely wonderful. But today, Africa Blue will be red.
It's a roll of the dice right now.
We're just going to deal with that.
Yeah. And I thought I got all the RNG I could handle in a Blizzard game from Hearthstone.
Less than this one is, so you have 50-50,
A little bit less.
right?
There's less. There's much less. It's true. There's
Well,
no, yeah.
Starting this map, Meta Athena, the Ilios Kings in the season of Apex, and Africa, they were 2-0 on Lijiang, but they have not played a map of Ilios yet, so the RNG, as we were talking about with our random selected map, certainly giving Meta Athena some peace of mind as we start off.
Certainly. Recry on the Tracer in our screen right now on board with him as he tries to get that Pulse Bomb building. Going after Libero, who's on the Genji. Oh, finishes off Changsik, actually. Good start for Africa Blue. Winning those early duels. That's pretty crucial on a point like Ruins.
Yeah, absolutely, especially since we have mirror compositions, though. Both teams running hard dive comps, the Genji, the Winston, and the Tracer. So initial kills onto the DPS and the tank line mean that it's a quick cap for Africa, and they're going to start things off strong.
Yeah, and I was talking to Tyrong, the Africa coach, a bit earlier today, and he said they were going to try some shuffling in the roles, and you can see Adam. Normally they're tank Reinhardt players on the Lucio today, and they've got Mano running tanks. So they are trying to adjust things today. They took that time they had to practice and tried to make some real changes, so we'll see how it works out. Side player looking for the kill into Recry, trying to defend his back line as well.
Mano gets another kill onto Libero, too.
Not bad.
Libero, not a player that has been running with a lot of Genji this season.
Quite a bit, but...
Yeah, it's interesting to see that he's making that transition and us picking up quite a few more here as they clean up the point. And we are going to see it flip over to Meta Athena.
Yeah, 39 control percent built up by Africa Blue in their first round of holding on to that.
Pretty slow ultimates out here.
Yep.
So far, nobody getting anything of value up yet. And which we normally see him dominating that control percent on Zarya, falling a little bit behind in this map.
Chris jumping down now. Libero's going to go in with the Nano Boost. Nano Boost, meanwhile, on the Recry on the other side, or Arhan rather. Libero looking for the kill on the Zarya with the bubble. That's going to be tough to complete, and he's going to get taken out by Mano. Arhan, meanwhile, finding one target with the Dragon Blade, takes down Nusk, gets back on the point, and they'll be able to flip it.
Man, that's going to be a huge win for Africa Blue. Libero didn't have his Dragon Blade up yet, so not much damage actually done by the Nano Boost. Meanwhile, both dumped onto Arhan, and Africa gets a lot more value. Chris used the Sound Barrier, and he still got wiped very fast, or the team got wiped very fast, so Africa going to be coming up with a powerful ult advantage, and they already have control of the point.
You know, it just didn't seem like Libero was in a position to go after any good targets, too, so I wonder what happened communication-wise that they gave him the Nano Boost when they did. Going to try to make up for it now. He's got that Dragon Blade going after Eamon as best he can. Arhan gets the kill into Changsik, though. They trade. Saya player did manage to kill Eamon, I believe, with the, with his left click. That's generally how Tracers do it.
Not a pulse
back
bomb.
on the point right now, yep. Up to 79%. There's a Graviton Surge used. They're going to drop the Sound Barrier right away in response. Ooh, Saya player gets 2 with the Pulse Bomb, though. Meta Athena loses a couple of their own, though. And it's still a pretty even duel here. Adam goes down. And Meta Athena maybe getting the edge here on the point. Arhan has to flee for his life as he's getting chased down by Changsik. Saya player right there to finish him off. Dragon Blade pulled out.
Wow, he's so low.
What in the world? Not going to work out, though. Arhan taken down immediately, wasting that ultimate big time. And Meta Athena still haven't flipped the point, though. And we're up to 99 for Africa Blue, so he may have bought enough time and attention to make it worth it. Chris goes down on the Lucio, and Africa storming back onto the point here. Looks like they may be able to actually hold out.
They did actually hold that point in spite of Arhan going down, popping that Dragon Blade with what looked like sub 10 HP remaining. Didn't matter, though. They still had a Nano Boost to use onto Mano, and Africa Blue pretty darn convincing on that first point. But we definitely see Meta Athena going away from their traditional style of play onto that dive composition. That's something that's much more comfortable for Africa Blue to play rather than Meta Athena. So I'm a bit curious. They spent so much of this season. If you if you count all of their compositions, like I was saying with the start of this match, it was Reinhardt, D.Va, Zarya, Tracer for 27% of the time, and then they just swap out Soldier for 10%, and then McCree for 8%. So it's always been about those hit scans with those 3 tanks.
Right.
And that's been, what, 45% of their game time, and they're just not going for it.
Right back to it on well, at least. They've got the 3 tanks that we're used to. Saya players sticking on the Tracer, which is still pretty normal.
Yeah, this is definitely the style from Meta Athena that we're typically used to seeing. Yeah. Africa Blue doesn't see anything broken, so they're not going to fix it.
Saya player just trying to get that early damage done. Again, Donghyun, that's a pretty good spot, but Adam very, very low on that. Lucio has like 1 health. There he goes down. Nuss, meanwhile, gets the kill on the opposing Ana, so a great start early on for Meta Athena, although things could turn around, I suppose. Saya player. Yeah, didn't have the recall up for that one. That hurts, and Afrika will still not be able to claim the point. Meta Athena manages to take it first despite a bit of awkwardness.
Yeah, Libero also just going to charge through Arhan there. Will get desuited eventually. He's back up on the high ground looking for those shots of the Bunny Blaster. Still, Meta Athena holding for the time being. Saya player won't have any problem getting back here to defend, so not the end of the world is death, especially since Libero was able to really delay Afrika by getting that kill onto Arhan.
Yep, that's right. Chongsick pretty low in the back. There's a kill onto Hoon coming in from Recry. Good start for Afrika as they try to get the point rolling here. Saya player goes down as well. 2 crucial members of Meta Athena taken out early on in the fight. Mano been doing pretty well on that Winston, I gotta say. He's been able to keep a lot of pressure not only on Libero and Genji, but also the supports on Meta Athena. It looks like Afrika will flip the spot.
Yeah, Meta Athena is having some very awkward nano boosts. We saw one on the first map where it just really wasn't the right time to get it onto Libero, and right there, Changshik was the recipient of a nano boost again, but was standing there with his shield considering most of his team had already gone down.
He was so
in that
low
time.
Health,
yeah.
It was awkward giving it to him at kind of low health with not a lot of heals coming in as well. Recry, meanwhile, just trying to harass again as Meta Athena tries to find some sort of push. They've got a lot of else to work with. Whoa, Chongsick booped or knocked. Well, yeah, booped by Mono. I suppose that's one way to do it. Meta Athena, though, getting a lot of kills on the other side of that fight, though, and it looks like they still might be able to flip this point.
Getting Recry with the right click at the end. Doesn't matter if the Reinhardt goes down, as the front line was melting away on the side of Afrika Blue. And Meta Athena now, besides that nano boost, really hasn't used anything at all. So they are looking at a very handsome 5 ult or maybe even 6 ult soon defense, depending on how much poke damage that we can see Nuss heal up.
Going in with the Graviton Surge, Saya player right there, waiting for that sound barrier to go away, and Pulse Bomb doesn't get anyone. A little bit too much. Shielding, I think. Saya player does finish off Donghyun. Now going after Mono, see if he can do it. No, Mono gets the healing he needs, and Saya player has to back away. Now going after Adam again, who seemed pretty vulnerable on this Lucio.
Where'd he go?
Not usually playing it. There we go. Tracked him down. You know, Adam, or Chris rather, does kill off Adam in the back of all that. Percentage still building for Meta Athena. They're getting pretty close to 100 now.
Well, that fight went pretty well for Meta Athena, considering that Afrika used all of their ultimates as well, and they couldn't even get onto the point whatsoever. Right. So maintaining that control, Meta Athena finds themselves with that defender's advantage, and Arhan's got to do work.
And Dragonblade time goes after Hoon first. Doesn't work out, though. Libero gonna help take him out. Meanwhile, Chris right there. Looks like Afrika Blue might have to go to a 3rd round here. Yeah, Adam on his own. Hoon with another kill. And that should be about it. Yeah, no one going to be able to get back in the point, and Meta Athena will take well.
Yeah, it wasn't, for those of you at home, Arhan just had to use that Dragon Blade right there to force the overtime. No real chance for his team to support him. No good sight lines, considering the choke had already been clogged up by the members of Meta Athena. Tried to get Hoon at the end there, couldn't do it, but that'll send us to a 3rd point with Meta Athena's win on well. Exciting stuff. Meta Athena looking significantly better with that composition compared to the dive. Libero not as comfortable on the Genji as Arhan, and it showed.
I mean, you know, D.Va has certainly fallen out of the incredible importance she sported a few metas ago, but still a pretty viable hero if you play her right. And yeah, Libero looking a lot more comfortable on that pick than he did on the Genji in round 1.
Just go what you're comfortable with. You won 19 best of 5s in a row for a reason, and of course, Libero's been great on the D.Va, even if she's not as strong as she used to be.
Oh, back on the D.Va again as we move into Lighthouse. Afrika Blue coming in on the red side again, of course. Arhan getting to the back, trying to take down Chris early on, but Chris is a tough Lucio to deal with. Gets him eventually. Good start for Afrika Blue as Mano picks up the kill on Nuss, so no supports for Meta Athena. And yeah, this push is not going to work out. Looks like Afrika Blue will probably be able to claim the point early on here, eventually.
I mean, who's just trying to get as much charge as he can, popping in there and delaying the point capture as well. So, Libero, see, well, he's not going to have his full ult right now once he respawns. We'll see what percentage he actually ended up getting to. Yeah, not quite, not very much. But Mono has been doing really well at getting into the backlines and either killing Libero on the Genji in the first point or by getting the supports right now. So his Winston play has definitely been a solid point of this team since they've made this sort of role swap.
Yeah, you know, again, talking about the recent practice, they've got a lot of confidence in this guy on the tank role right now, and he's delivering so far anyway. Pretty good kill on to Chris as Recry takes him down, but Meta Athena nearly sneaking the point while it's all being said and done. Recry with another kill, though. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to finish it off. Don't think so, anyway.
No, Recry got the kill, even though there was a nice sleep dart from Nuss onto Mono. The initial death of Chris yet again made it so it was a 5v5. And Afrika Freaks Blue pull through yet again. Saya player dumps the pulse bomb, and now Libero, he's decided it's time for some Genji. Back on that, but he's going to be at a significant ult disadvantage with 55% already gone on the control meter, and Arhan sitting with the Dragon Blade as we speak.
Heading towards a pretty dominating third round here on Ilios if they can complete it. Saya player coming in, Arhan with the Dragon Blade, goes after Nuss, gets that easy kill to start things off. Caught up in the Graviton Surge a bit, but manages to get the kill onto Hoon during all of that as well. Pretty good fight for Afrika Blue, only Saya player and Chris remaining. And they're not going to last too much longer. There's the reset, and Afrika Blue nearly has this map in the bag, up to 80 control percent now.
Adam died, but he saved his sound barrier. It's 84-0. Meta Athena's got to do something. They have one ultimate, just Hoon with that Graviton Surge. Won't be matched by Donghyun right now. Try and make as much of this time as he can, but he doesn't have a lot of opportunity to get charge right now.
Saya player's got his pulse bomb, but oh, not enough caught. With the Graviton Surge, maybe now? Yeah,
Big
that's
bomb.
it. Donghyun and Adam goes down, and Meta Athena with a great opportunity to take the point back. Just need to complete this fight. Just need to deal with Arhan on the Genji, but he's already on the retreat, yeah. Chris does go down. Meanwhile, Mano really making his presence felt on this Winston. I gotta say, no matter who wins this map, Mano has already impressed me on the tank role.
Absolutely. I'm gonna be... We'll have to see how he does on the Reinhardt, because that's going to be the next question. If they are making that swap as well, it could be just for this map for all we know.
So far, so good anyway.
But yes, his Winston play has been quite strong, and certainly a major factor in Africa's ability to contest this control map with Meta Athena. But now they're fighting from behind. Ultimate advantage definitely in Meta Athena's favor. They have that sound barrier. They should be able to last for a while.
Hoon got really low. Changsik actually killed Adam at the beginning of all that, so Afrika down 2 people already. They've got time, though. They don't necessarily need to fight and use any ults they've got. Yeah, I think they can just kind of regroup here. They've got time. Only about 40 control percent for Meta Athena, so Afrika Blue can regroup, take some time, build some ult charge.
Yeah, just go for the dry pushes in this situation if you're already at 99-0. Don't overcommit, and they're not. They're going to wait. Adam had to use his ult at the start of the fight where the point flipped, so that's why he is so low right now. And they're going to use that nano boost right away.
Yeah, Dragon Blade time, Herdicat pulled out. Meanwhile, Meta Athena crushing this team fight already. Libero just fending off Arhan as well as he can. Hoon finishes off the kill.
Arhan should not have used the Dragon Blade there. So many of his allies were saving their ultimates, and now he's been entirely reset. And Libero's going to be the one with the Dragon Blade. A good use of the nano boost on the side of Meta Athena, clogging the doorway with Changshik, who had that ultimate. And this is looking like Meta Athena may be able to contest this and bring it all the way back.
Starting to seem that way. It's looking so good for Afrika Blue, but they just haven't been able to retake the point.
Oh, sneaky.
Yeah, Recry's trying to grab that one while Libero distracts with the Dragon Blade. Meanwhile, Boone, yeah, they actually do take it back. Afrika Blue, the time is running out here. Are you kidding me?
Nobody was there.
Afrika Blue will take it.
They were fighting off the point, and Recry snuck back. They were trying to clean up with the Dragon Blade, and I think that was part of the confusion. But Afrika Blue just backcaps, and that is quite embarrassing for Meta Athena.
No kidding, that one hurts. Because, I mean, they absolutely had a great chance of winning this map, and then suddenly
there's no excuse, Doa. Especially with the mobility that you have. They had already popped the Dragon Blade and they had popped the Primal Rage. These were active abilities that could have been used to easily get back onto the point, but they were focusing on just fighting in the front instead. They knew the point was being captured. It was at 99%. You can't fight that far forward, and you see that going up. You know there's that Tracer behind you, and everybody's got to bail.
Yeah, and that's a rough loss for Meta Athena. I mean, this is the best of 5, and that is actually Meta Athena's first control map loss this season.
Yeah. Well, this was the map that this and Assault were the ones that I felt Africa Blue had the best shot on coming in, because now we get to see their abysmal hybrid maps. They are 0-4 on hybrid. And not only are they playing on hybrid, but they're playing on Meta Athena's selection of hybrid.
It's going to be Eichenwald. All right.
So I think that it's not that big of a deal for Meta Athena. You still have hybrid maps to work with here. You still have escort maps to work with, which you're going to be more confident on. This is actually going to be Meta Athena's first Eichenwald map this season.
Okay. Well, no doubt been practicing that one. We'll see what Africa Blue has in store. But, yeah, like we mentioned, they are 0-4 on hybrid maps so far in Apex Season 2. So now we really get to see, I think, if the practice has paid off.
Well, it's not just they're 0-4 on hybrid maps, still. It's that, yes, they haven't gotten any wins, but they really have looked bad on hybrid maps. A lot of these maps haven't been too terribly close.
That's right. Well, we'll see if they can keep the momentum going, win another map, put them one win away from going to the winner's match here in Group B, or if Meta Athena will tie things up as we go into the commercial break. Don't go anywhere. It's time for map number 2. Let's go to Eichenwald.
Get it.
All right, welcome to Eichenwald. You know, I don't know how that wooden shield has survived hundreds and hundreds of years and is now leaning against that destroyed Omnic tank or whatever it is.
I think it's a table, maybe. But
I think so.
It's not hundreds of years. The Omnic crisis happened within the lifetime of most of the characters.
I'm saying that's like an old shield from like the medieval times.
Ah, okay.
Obviously, I know the Omnic crisis is not hundreds of years old. Well, here's a Big Bang combo, maybe.
Oh, it was just Chris trying to get back to the point right there.
Oh, weird.
And everybody else not able to do anything.
Wow.
It was a nice sleep dart, but the support simply couldn't get back onto the point in time at the end of that last map. Yeah, what do you say? They split up the team, but nicely done by Mono and Recry, but a bit questionable there for Meta Athena.
Yep. Another kind of thing to maybe consider here is that this is Meta Athena's first, big playoff match, and although they are coming into this with a lot of wins, I'm not sure what Soldier's doing there. The nerves may be high today. Wow, he can fly.
You can fly on beams only.
That's amazing.
It's the worst X-Men mutant power.
You have to have a
Libero
beam
on the May. Okay,
yeah.
so
Oh,
definitely going to be trying to get the early wall here to make sure this choke point is easily passed through by the members of the team. Doesn't even need it because there's no Reinhardt on the low ground.
Here we go. We've seen the May before from the Libero. Just looked pretty good on it. Backing away now is Meta Athena coming around the long way, taking the high ground.
Oh, this is a very clever approach.
Yeah.
They're going to boost up and
Whoa.
over.
Wow.
And then come back down onto the low ground. That is a very creative attack here for Meta Athena.
From the side, and they find Africa Blue inside the house. This is one of the smallest quarter battles I think I've ever seen here. We'll see who comes out on top. Saya player picking up a kill there. Adam kind of on his own. Trading pretty evenly at the moment.
Hood's still alive, even though he's very low at the moment. They're going to clean this up. This is going to be a wipe here for Meta Athena after a super creative May boost around the side. It was read pretty well by Africa Blue. They got into the house in order to try and defend it, but it's really hard to fight in those tight quarters when you're against that May. I mean, Mono gets back, but he gets slept immediately, so...
Yeah, that was creative, but it was also a huge risk for Meta Athena as well. I mean, if that had not worked out, that would have used a lot of time.
I mean, it would
attack round.
It would have, but I think once they saw that composition, they were pretty confident because the defensive matrix isn't going to do much against the May or the Reinhardt or the Zarya in that situation. So you're fine fighting D.Va at close range with that tank line.
Saya player looking for some targets with his ultimate. Didn't really find a whole lot. Got a Recry, got a kill on the Nuss rather. teams have switched colors, by the way. Metathene is now red, Afrika Blue is blue. Donghyun with the nano boost doing what he can. Barely alive at just 63 health there, but they do manage to hold the payload for the moment.
Yeah, Athena got a little bit too aggressive there. Nobody was actually pushing that payload when they were trying to control that high ground. So getting wiped, the initial death from Libero, considering he got bionic grenaded, so he couldn't heal during his ice block, set up the initial pick, and there's going to be a Zarya ultimate. May walled off. That's actually dangerous for Mono to go in on, but
Athena just kind of stalled out again as Afrika Blue just kind of takes him apart. And this is reminding me a little bit of the old Afrika Blue, right? The team that was really good on the defensive side of these payload maps. And
Hoon just wasted his ult. I think it got eaten by Arhan right there.
It may have been.
I'm pretty sure it was just eaten by that D.Va. I don't know why you would even go for an ultimate that late in the team fight when, I mean, half your team was already gone.
That's what we see from Arhan all the time, though, right? He tries to be that one-man army. He tries to save things a bit too late pretty consistently, and that's been a problem for Afrika Blue this season.
Boost up here. They're getting quite creative with the May to try and retake this high ground.
Super tricky. Afrika Blue charges in, though, undeterred. Libero has that Blizzard in case he wants to use it. Recry, wow, goes for the flying ultimate. Meanwhile, Metathena, Changsik, having none of that, just slams him down. And Metathena with the kills coming in, they should be able to get that payload moving now. Nice trap onto Mano on that Reinhardt.
Yeah, nothing you can do right there. Has to reset off the side of the map and try and just challenge here right by the gateway of the castle. Changsik going to be setting up for a possible Earth Shatter. Getting a little bit sneaky, trying to predict that they're going to be coming out of that door. Wants to preempt this and just make sure they can push through to point B immediately.
Seems like they might.
No, he gets found by Arhan.
Tricky to hide around that corner. They are going to pop the Blizzard, though, as Metathena comes in. Changsik just guarding his that payload. Moving ever closer to the end of point C here. Stalled out now. There we go. Now it's moving.
Yeah,
Sano again kind of on his own. Good ice wall from Libero to separate him.
I mean, Libero's May has been excellent. His team is playing around the wall so well, whether they're boosts or whether it's just a wall off, because they won that fight and they got the bonus of getting the sound barrier out of Adam. So that's a huge win for an extended push.
Oh, Recry takes out Saya Player. I mean, Saya Player pushed a little bit too far forward there with that one. He kind of had that one coming.
Arhan switching over to Reaper now, so trying to take advantage of these fat tanks that Metathena's been running with this map. Changsik again, he's looking for that. He finds it!
Oh, that's
a big one.
Shatter. That's 3 people with that. Recry goes down immediately. Donghyun soon to follow, and Mano on his own. Again, they pair the May wall with that and just completely split Afrika Blue in half.
That's like a Reinhardt dream right there, where you run in and you see the enemy Reinhardt is off to the side, and like 5 dudes are not behind his shield. You're like, it's my time to shine.
Thank you. Happy birthday to me.
That's going to do it.
They're just going to, oh, wait, no. Adam got back there just in time, and Mano drops his own Earth Shatter. Meanwhile, Arhan, gets the kill onto Eamon at the end there, onto Hoon as well.
Wow,
I thought they were just going to push it.
Yeah,
0.9 meters away right now.
Hoon's ults have left something to be desired so far in Eichenwald, and that's been made up for by the fact that the rest of his team has been performing well. Now, they nearly pushed it all the way to point C. They do have a Blizzard, and they have a Nano Boost, and they have an Earth Shatter. So Metathena going to be looking good here, but I mean, what do you say?
Well,
you can't position that way as Reinhardt. This is when we were asking, like, Mono, what's his experience on Reinhardt looking like, and that's not a good sign right there.
Not so much. Metathena with a big attack. They want to end it right here, right now. Dropping the Blizzard, dropping the sound barrier. Changsik with an early kill on Mano as Libero comes around the side. They just need the push to payload just a little bit further again. Nice right click onto Adam there as Lucio out of the way. Meanwhile, it's a boosted Zarya on the Afrika Blue side, and that payload is moving. Can he stop it? Recry dives in with the 76, but Mano is sleeping, and Metathena will get 3 points on Eichenwald.
That was a great attack by Metathena. You know, since they used that double sniper attack on King's Row, and we've seen some other creative strats, Metathena has become one of the most fun teams to watch strategically on attack on these hybrid and escort maps. And that was a great one. Really cool use of the May. And they managed to power through. I mean, they didn't just have one creative boost. They were boosting all the way back up onto the high ground in the second phase of the map. Very nicely done.
That was a very well-practiced Eichenwald round.
Very cool. Good stuff. So Afrika Blue now on the attack. They will have to push it all the way through. 206 For Eichenwald, remember those changes to the map have not come through yet on this patch, so that's a particularly good time.
Yeah.
You still have the portcullis that goes down once the battering ram smashes through.
The entire door rather than the debris.
Yeah. So that's a very good time. Libero is looking like we may see a Sombra here.
I wonder. Yeah, could be.
We don't really see Sombra on Eichenwald defense that much, so this would be another unique meta Athena strategy. And this is also weird because Hoon is playing on the Winston this time.
That
and
is
Saya
odd.
player on the Reaper. So
yeah.
quite different from our typical compositions from meta Athena.
Yeah,
Hoon almost never plays anything that isn't Zarya.
I'm a bit surprised by the Winston, but I do like the Sombra here. I mean, where the point is on this map is a big open space. So if you've theoretically got the EMP up nearly every fight like you often see on Sombra, you're going to have to deal with that EMP every time you try to take the point. So
is Adam going? Okay, no, he's switching over to the Lucio. I was like a little bit confused. Recry back on Athara, one of his best heroes for sure. Be able to drift around the side of the point here and see he's just going to go in stealth mode under the wall, so nobody's going to be able to see this coming.
Being sneaky. From the side, we see this once in a while. Arhan saying you're not prepared, we'll find out. And Athena hiding in that house right now. They're going after Chris early on. The support's in jeopardy, and a couple of them do go down, but Meta Athena with kills on their own. Recry finds himself kind of alone here and has to back off.
Everybody melting, the front line not able to stay on the point. And look at what Meta Athena is doing. They actually are not contesting the choke point at all. We almost never see this from teams on the first wave of defense. But because they have the Sombra hacked heal packs, and because they're running the Reaper, they want to fight on the point itself here and draw them into some very close quarter combat. And Hoon is just waiting to see where they're going to come in. He wants to disrupt the supports right away.
It's going to be really tough, too, because there are a few health packs really close to the point, and with them coming back all the time because of the hack, it's going to be hard to take down the members of Meta Athena. Libero kind of staying on his own finally. Translocating up to stay alive. Recry with the kill onto Hoon, though. Good start there. Meanwhile, Earthshatter comes in for Meta Athena as well. Changsik looking for some victims, but Africa Blue still on the point right now. Recry gets EMP'd. Everyone gets EMP'd, but that doesn't stop him from picking up the kills. That's two. Can't find one on Saya Player at the end. Maybe he can in the end. Saya Player either way forced off the point. And Arhan able to save that Dragon Blade. It was a cute strategy, but it looks like this may be the end of it for Meta Athena.
Yeah, Saya Player just gets slashed by Arhan on the dash through. And the problem with their strategy is if there is a Pharah, like we saw from Africa Blue, well, your Ana has to take care of it. Nuss got Recry down to about 7 HP before he picked up those 2 kills. It was really on the knife's edge as to whether that fight was going to go in Africa Blue's favor or Meta Athena. But because he doesn't die, and because Africa doesn't have to use any ultimates, they are in a great place now.
Libero on the Pharah now, swapping away from that Sombra. Arhan still has that Dragon Blade. Like you mentioned, Africa Blue with a lot to work with here. Going after Chris. Gets the kill immediately. Chris way out of position, and that's going to let Arhan go crazy with this nano boost.
Libero going to be nano boosted on the other side.
Yeah. See if he can get anything done. Right now, it's all about Arhan and Africa Blue.
Well, we got Recry with the barrage, but that was it.
Yes. Arhan chasing him away. Yeah, going to get some healing, but that's what Africa Blue is looking for. That kind of play with Arhan. They had a big opening. They took advantage of it.
Yeah, that's good. Recry also going to swap over to McCree right now, seeing Libero on that Pharah. So
Hoon on the Diva, interestingly enough. Donghyun drops in the Graviton Surge. Sound Barrier comes in from Meta Athena, though, to try to keep people up. Mano getting a kill. Donghyun as well. And Meta Athena routed yet again. This defensive round has started to really look like it's falling apart.
Well, Arhan is going to be forced back, but gets the Dragon Blade up just from the Shuriken spam. Primal Rage looks like it's going to hold the cart for a little bit here for Meta Athena. Mano trying to stop the reinforcements from coming through, but he's not going to be too successful with that.
Oh dear. The battle of gorillas versus cowboys. The gorilla generally wins.
Especially with that ult up. Certainly helps. Arhan is running around with his sword.
Yep.
Doesn't really need to do anything, though. The rest of the team has been eliminated from pushing, or rather stopping the cart from moving. So just trying to zone out.
Libero coming in. He's got the barrage. Scatters people with the concussive blast. There's the barrage taken out. Oh, he does not live though. Arhan's going to reflect it. Meanwhile, Electric Cowboy as Recry tries to keep this payload moving. Firing away at the nano-boosted Changsik on that Winston. Gets the kill in the end. Has to back off though, taking too much from the damage from the Ana, but in the end it's only Hoon on the Diva remaining, and Afrika may be able to continue pushing here. Side player on that Tracer has to be careful, has to back off. There's the self-destruct. Oh, two from Hoon.
Nowhere to hide there.
Guess
Sometimes
so.
on that bridge it can be absolutely brutal for Diva ultimates, so they can't quite push it all the way to point B. And Meta Athena may have held on for just long enough. They have the Deadeye to zone people out, and Africa Blue use absolutely everything. That's one of those times where if you had better discipline, Arhan wouldn't have used that Dragon Blade, could have saved that. Now they've got to rebuild back up into that ult bank.
Right. We'll see what they can do. Saya player just looking for targets. There's one. Mano jumping in, getting really aggressive on the Winston actually. Oh, goes down though. The headshots, and now the nano boost. That is going to make the McCree duel kind of lopsided. As Saya player just going aggressive, and that's going to be another reset from Afrika Blue, and they are down to about a minute 20 remaining in their attack round, and taking out Adam Lade. That is a really rough split spawn for Afrika Blue to deal with now.
Yeah, Afrika Blue went in with Mono, but they didn't have any other support. So going with the McCree, it was very easy for Meta Athena's support players just to turn the corner and help out, give him the healing he needed to win that duel, and especially the nano boost. So I'm not sure what that was supposed to be. The coordination there for the dive composition not present from Afrika Blue. They need some better execution. Arhan does have the Dragon Blade again, but there is the Deadeye.
Yeah, gotta
nice
be
shield,
with that.
very nice
and,
shield.
That's why Arhan comes in, finishes off Saya player. Afrika Blue on the attack again. Arhan with the Dragon Blade finishes off Nuss now. Back to the payload as they've got to dislodge Hoon and Chris from it. There goes Hoon. Chris, maybe not long to follow. Arhan just trying to stay alive. Oh, he goes a little bit too low though. Maybe didn't get that second jump where he wanted it to. That was a bit odd, but in the end he does die, and Meta Athena looks like they're going to keep holding this payload, and now it's down to just 20 seconds remaining for Afrika Blue, and they are in real danger of not winning this map.
Especially with the Primal Rage up from Changsik, his ability to push them off the card in overtime is huge, and there's nowhere to really hide here. It's very easy for him to get environmental kills off of the bridge. This is the perfect spot to have that Primal Rage up. Dongyun's going to try and get it. Does he get it off? Yes, he does.
He does. Graviton Surge comes in. They take down Chris immediately. Meanwhile, Recry just trying to get to the payload, but he can't do it. And Meta Athena will win Eichenwald, and that means that Afrika Blue is now 0-5 on hybrid maps this season. Still not their map type.
No, and it's incredibly difficult to get back onto the cart on the drawbridge there above the moat. It's not a drawbridge, on the bridge we'll just call it, above the moat, because if they have the Primal Rage, it's so easy for Winston to keep you off because everything is so narrow that there's no real way for them to get back onto the payload.
You know, when it comes down to it, it's things like, you know, Arhan pulling out that Dragon Blade a bit too early. It's just that kind of lack of coordination and the ult usage from Afrika Blue that's plagued them all season long, and kind of, I think, a big part of what contributed to that loss on Eichenwald.
Yeah, and they just don't look as polished when it comes to their attacks or defenses. They did get the point based off of Recry's Pharah play at first, but again, that was incredibly close to being another big team fight win for Meta Athena. It was like a 7 HP on Recry, and if he had gone down to that Ana, then it would have been a very different fight. They pull it out due to individual skill, but the polish from the strategy definitely there for Meta Athena.
Oh, great match for us. Either way, it's all tied up 1-1. Meta Athena versus Afrika Freaks Blue in this quarterfinal battle. We're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, map number 3, the Assault map. Afrika Blue needs to get something going again. Let's see if they can do it right after a short break. So don't go anywhere. Apex Season 2 will be back right after this. Welcome back to Overwatch Apex Season 2. Energized with HOT6. You know, if you're into that kind of thing, I guess. We're all tied up between Africa Blue and Meta Athena. Meta Athena winning Eichenwald fairly handily, I would say, with some pretty unique attacks and then some pretty solid defense. And even though it didn't work out totally on point A, a pretty interesting point A defense with the Sombra.
I think Meta Athena is like my favorite team to watch on hybrid attack now. They are so sick with what they do. I'm really impressed at the level of execution and coordination surrounding their strategies. So we are going into Assault, which is 3-0 so far for Africa Blue, but notably, they have only ever played on Volskaya this season, and they chose Volskaya every time because remember, they have lost every hybrid map they've played, so they have always had the opportunity in a best-of-5 to pick Assault. But guess what, Doa? There's no Volskaya this time, so we're going to see if they're actually good at one of these other maps.
Yeah, they're going to go with Temple of Anubis. So we will see. Meta Athena has not lost on Assault yet this season. There are 2 wins and 1 tie so far, so coming into it with a pretty decent record on the map type themselves. And yeah, I think not having to play Africa on Volskaya is a big deal for these guys too.
Yeah, little things like that. But if Africa Blue want to win, this is going to be a major factor for them. Can they actually take this Assault map? Well, because if they lose here, the prospect of having to win another hybrid and an escort is, I think, pretty low.
That's the thing, is that
low percentage.
Based on previous results and kind of what we've seen today, if they don't win this one, it's unlikely that they're going to win this best of 5.
Yeah, it's previous results and also the eye test and their less than stellar play on hybrid.
That's right. So it is time to go to Temple of Anubis and see who gets the momentum going again. Let's get in the game and find out. Welcome to Temple of Anubis, where Africa Blue will try to keep their perfect Assault record going, although on a map they have not played on yet this season. Meta Athena, meanwhile, doing well in Assault themselves and showing so many interesting looks at attacks and the game in general that I'm really curious to see what they're going to have in store for us.
Absolutely, and the same kind of attacks we see from them on hybrid are often very successful in terms of creativity on point A of a lot of these Assault maps, so certainly something they could come out with. And actually, Libro's going to play Pharah on point A defense, which is quite interesting. And Hoon is on the D.Va this time. You really see Meta Athena trying to get away from the Hoon Zarya playstyle in this series, and it's been working all right so far.
I mean, I think it's a, whether it works or not, it's a testament to the progress that this team is making since they formed, in that, they took the time off, they hadn't lost a match, and yet they still don't come in with the same exact thing. They use that time to kind of practice other things and diversify their strategies, which, if you want to become a better team, that's what you want to do, even if you are winning every match.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to agree with you there. And also, Hoon has not had good Zarya ults today overall, so
not a lot.
Recry will be on the Widowmaker at the start, so dive composition coupled with the Widow for control over the point. That Soldier gets out of dodge.
It's like, oh no! Runs for cover, and Libero coming to force Recry off of the high ground there. Zaya player running for his life as soon as he saw that grappling come up. Good start for Libero as Mano goes down early on that Winston.
It's going to be really hard for him to play Widowmaker against Pharah D.Va.
I
think you need to move off that.
I agree. I think we're probably going to see him swap pretty soon.
Oops.
At least we should see him swap fairly soon anyway.
They're still on the low ground, and they're going to try and have Arhan help him up there, but he's going to get knocked off immediately.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can actually control that high ground, but they're going to desuit the D.Va, so getting something.
Yeah, Hoon maybe staying in sight of Widowmaker a little bit too much there. Oh my gosh, Libero did not see Recry pop up there.
That is a huge mistake from Libero. Was looking for him, but didn't actually see him grapple up.
And guess what? Then everybody jumps in a room together, and Arhan has about the easiest Dragon Blade you can imagine. And that's going to be a point A take for Africa Blue. That was just... Man, the Jenga tower fell over hardcore for Meta Athena there. Everything went wrong at once that time.
I like how we could just see him looking down. He's like, where's the Widowmaker?
Yeah, where could she be?
Nice
Oh,
headshot
man.
from Requay all the same. Going to stick with the Widow, no change. And Meta Athena back on the defense. Libero on the Genji, which he does not look spectacular with so far today.
Requay popping the ultimate. He had it available, so why not stick on the Widowmaker a bit longer.
I'm a bit surprised they didn't go back to Libero on the Mei for the second point.
Yeah. I'm sure they will if things start going poorly. Requay, though, I'm surprised he's sticking with the Widowmaker here. Tries to grapple his way out of it. Nuss, meanwhile, goes down. Afrika Blue making a little bit of progress, but again, this is one of those points where you need to get the big fights going. Sound barrier. Afrika Blue trying to stay on the point as best they can, but the kill's coming in for Meta Athena. And Meta Athena, if they can win this fight, which it looks like they will, are going to come into this with a pretty huge ult advantage now for the next few minutes.
Oh, it's going to be a brutal split spawn, too, at the end there, taking out D.Va with the jump. Sound barrier not enough to actually save the likes of Adam from the self-destruct.
It was a bit of a optimistic sound barrier, wasn't it?
It was.
Hit a lot of people, and they weren't really doing well in the fight anyway, but...
Yeah, Meta Athena now, too.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. They used one self-destruct to defend, and Afrika dropped the sound barrier and the Primal Rage, so going to be fighting on their back foot when it comes to the ult economy for a little bit. Requay now switching over to the Tracer.
Afrika Blue coming back in again. Jongsik receives a nano boost meanwhile. They're going to pop their own sound barrier to try to fend off Afrika Blue. Afrika getting the early kills, though. Looks like a pretty solid attack. Jongsik making a run for it. Away from that self-destruct, back onto the point now. Has to deal with Donghyun on the D.Va.
He died with a Primal Rage up.
That is really surprising, actually, and Afrika Blue going to get some control percent building here.
Oh boy, that's a huge mistake. He was trying to maximize his HP, but the dash coming through from Arhan actually means that he goes down without being able to use the Winston ult. Going to get back now and be able to use it, but that may have started a snowball that will be difficult for Meta Athena to recover from.
Libero did not get a lot done with that Dragon Blade, and we may need to see him switch. Hoon on the Mei now. That's going to leave Libero for the Road Dog. Chris, meanwhile, trying to buy time with that Lucio up on the high ground. We've seen him do this pretty successfully before. Afrika Blue stalled out with only about one tick on the control meter at this point. Ron looking for more kills, but everyone's kind of ignoring Chris right now, which is kind of funny. Where is that Lucio? He's still up there. Somewhere. Lucio battle.
Down below.
Whooping Lucios.
Lucio down below now. He's trying to work his way back up onto the point, be as elusive as he can.
Yep.
Arhan does get another kill. They're coming in slowly, and now they may have gotten it.
Maybe. That's 2 ticks on the control meter now as Hoon jumps back in on the Mei. Libero back on the Genji again as Arhan tries to finish off Hoon as best he can. He will. Manos with 2 kills there. Looking a little bit grim for Meta Athena if they can hold on. Remember, this is still pre-Bastion patch, so the spawn timer adjustments haven't happened yet for Assault. So this could be a long fight. Self-destruct for Afrika Blue as they build more point. They're almost there. Libero dashes his way back in there. Hoon again back on the Mei. Ice block. He's on the point. He's stalling it out again. Libero does go down. Hoon goes down to the pulse bomb immediately after he comes out the ice block, though. And Afrika Blue continues to try to grind their way towards 2 points on Temple of Anubis, and with that Dragon Blade, they nearly get it. Libero back.
Still up top.
So hard.
They can't quite get him with the Tesla gun.
Oh, Chris the hero. No, not quite. Oh, but now Hoon is back again. Repeat. I mean, you know they're kind of like hanging out in spawn saying, now you go, now you go, now you go, stretching it out. That's what teams did before everything changed, but it hasn't changed yet for us.
And so we get this, and Hoon has a blizzard. This has been going on for like 3 minutes right now.
Yeah, we're not done yet. Hoon with the kill on the Amen, and Afrika Blue starting to slowly get pushed away from the point here. We'll see how long they can last.
There's another self-destruct. How many ults have we seen this fight so far?
Many. Another pulse bomb for Requay, in case you were looking for even more ultimates. Afrika Blue winning a pretty big fight handily here. Oh, they're so close. But Jongsik gets back in time, and no, Afrika Blue eventually grinds out that second point on Temple of Anubis.
That's absurd.
It is.
I'm glad that's changing soon.
I'm very happy that's changing too. In the end, though, a good start for Afrika Blue. They still managed to have, I believe, a little over 2 minutes in the time.
Arhan got 3 or 4 ultimates over the course of that fight. Pretty impressive. Hold, though, from Meta Athena to siphon off 3 minutes or more on the clock with that team fight. At least gave them quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
So it will be 2-16 in the bank for Africa Blue. Meta Athena, this is where we see if they have got a creative Anubis strategy. Maybe going with Saya Player on the Widowmaker. Saya Player has done his fair share of widowing this season and has looked quite good on the hero.
Chris on the Zenyatta too, which
on a Zenyatta combination we don't see very much actually. Usually on the Zenyatta players are the same person.
Yeah, it's true. It's been more and more of this experimentation though, and I feel like once the Zenyatta changes come in a little bit later on down the line, we might see even more of this. But we'll see what they stick on. Right now, Chris on the Reinhardt, so
yeah,
who knows?
Who knows what's going on? But we do know what's going on with Africa Blue, and that is going to be the use of a composition that Saya Player will struggle to play Widowmaker against, considering that you have 3 heroes who are easily able to contest the high ground arch, and you also have the soldier there to zone her off. Some spam. Recry will jump over to the typical soldier spot.
All right, might see Libero on the Sombra now. Is he actually going to stick with it? Oh, quit playing games with my heart, Libero.
I got the Genji.
All right. Chris will stick with the Zenyatta. Saya Player looking for any opposing Widowmakers. Ooh, interesting.
That's sneaky. So just trying to see if he can find the soldier. Soldier still hiding, though. Won't have that opportunity. No Reinhardt's here, but if... Oh, that's huge.
Eamon goes down early. That could be a bit of a problem for Africa Blue. Looking for the kill on the Recry now if he can get it. That'd be huge, but he's forced him out of the fight enough already. Decent amount of damage there. And this is a Widowmaker that's really working out.
Well, that initial pick was so clutch for Saya Player. That just turned everything in the favor instantly. They couldn't contest the high ground anymore, had to get on the point with their tanks. And when you're trying to fight that 6v5 and the Widowmaker shooting you, and you have the Orb of Discord on your tanks, I mean, the other tank line's just going to win much easier.
Very true. Africa Blue not giving up just yet, though. Eamon very low. There's another kill for Saya Players. He tries to stop the respawns, and now Africa Blue will have to group up. Athena with a very, very quick point A.
7 minutes now for them to move through and take point B. Nobody has an ultimate yet. That's how fast they move through the point. Recry switching over to the Tracer. Saya Player.
You got the ult, you might as well use it and stick on the Widowmaker for a little bit longer.
Libero nearly there with the Dragon Blade. Gonna try and combo that right off the bat. Saya Player gets Recry, actually huge.
Yeah, that is big.
Especially now the Dragon Blade is up. They're gonna be pushing forward.
Africa Blue's lost people early on in fights. Now Libero, Dragon Blade for him. Ammon goes down, he gets a nano boost. There's the other support. Johnsik meanwhile takes on Arhan in the back, and there's the self-destruct for Africa Blue, just trying to keep people off the point, but Libero is just tearing Africa Blue apart. Finally goes down to Recry as he respawns.
We're going to get some ticks here, though.
A lot of time.
Self-destruct is here. May kill before she can get onto the point.
That's huge, man. Africa Blue, they're holding the point for the moment, though. There goes Chris as Arhan striking back with his own Dragon Blade. And it looks like they may stall Meta Athena out right there, but Saya Player still on the point for now.
Yeah, did make a change. Too low. It's going to be too low, and they can't quite get that second point. Good attack from Meta Athena. Africa Blue, though, powering through.
Yeah.
And Arhan definitely helping out with the Dragon Blade at the very end. And this is where Chris is going to change back over to the Lucio.
That was a dangerous start to the point B attack for Africa Blue. They nearly lost control of it right away, but managed to hold on. Now Saya Player coming back, ult advantage a little bit in Africa's favor for the moment.
Self-destruct, zoning people up. Actually gets a kill into Amon. That's huge.
All right, yeah. They may have something to work with here now. Saya Player gets another one. Oh, it's the Diva suit, actually. Still, Adam very, very low. Gets a sound barrier off just in time. Keeps himself alive. Saya Player really biding his time for that pulse bomb. Arhan does go down. They take Hoon in the meantime. Kills on both sides, but Meta Athena has the greater numbers on the point for the moment. There goes Eamon and Libero. Just been looking great on this Genji here on Temple of Anubis, actually. Self-destruct for Donghyun. Oh, he dies before he gets back in the suit, though. That is crucial. Recry very low himself. Libero, low health, but wants to get back on the point to try to fight. Needs some healing, though. Sound barrier comes in now for Meta Athena. So they try to keep this point going. The grind has commenced. Libero with another Dragon Blade.
And this is where it just keeps going, Noah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see how long this point is going to take. So the Pulse Bomb actually taking out Libero, but
Sire player got the suit and the Diva, though. Now he takes down Adam. So Meta Athena still overall winning this fight, and they've got 4 minutes remaining. If they can close it out soon.
Arhan has the Nano Blade, though, and there comes the Dragon Blade. Can they get anything out of it?
He's got 10 health, man. Managed to kill Changsik Nus right before he died. At least he got one.
It's huge. He took the healing out. That may be enough just for them to come back and snowball this. Self-destruct on a zone. It's so close. It's like 1 pixel.
The Libero killed Adam, man. That was crucial. Getting that Lucio off the top. Africa Blue diving back in with everybody they've got. Libero taking a nap off the point. There's a Pulse Bomb. Oh, doesn't kill anyone, though. Changsik getting a little bit low. Recry finished him off in the end. Another sound barrier for Meta Athena. That's the second one for Chris in this fight. As they try to end it. Once and for all, yeah, like you said, man, like 1 pixel away from finishing it off. 3:26 on the clock. As Mano with the Primal Rage just pushing everybody back. Oh man, if they have to reset at this point, it would be tragic for Meta Athena. They may not need to, though. Libero coming in, he's got the Tac Visor, he's got the Nano Visor. There goes Adam. Is it enough? Is it enough? Self-destruct? I guess so. And
they got 2 kills with the self-destruct, but all they had to do was force them off for like a quarter second to actually get that kill, which was successful.
This map is insane.
So wow, we end up with some time bank here on Assault on Anubis. Meta Athena with the better time as it stands right now. Only 2 minutes and 15 on the clock for Africa Blue, which is optimistic if they're trying to take both points.
I mean, it's enough to work with to take point A. And in these time bank rounds, taking point A is very crucial. A full hold often means you'll just lose the map. So, you know, it is about a minute higher for Meta Athena right now. So, decent spot for them to be in.
Yeah, certainly looking like the most likely outcome is going to be both teams taking point A and then heading to a draw, however.
And that would send us to a control map.
For the sudden death.
Yeah.
All right, well. Libero going to be on the Genji again, and we are going to see the same style of composition from Meta Athena that Africa Blue just used to defend with.
I think you got to wonder, too, if this so much Genji play from Libero is designed to kind of get in Arhan's head, too, because he said so many times, I love those Genji duels, I want to win them. But then if you lose the Genji duels, where are you at, Arhan? That's a question that has yet to be answered.
A mix-up here from Africa. No Widowmaker this time. Recry going to start out on the Tracer.
Okay.
Does help when you have these short amount of time because she can build up the Pulse Bomb and get that crucial pick so quickly.
That's the idea. Going in now, has to recall almost immediately. Back to the side, Meta Athena trying to hold. All right. Genji battles, but Arhan kind of on his own against nearly all of Meta Athena.
Mano getting really low in the front right.
Ooh, Sire player takes on Mano, yeah.
Yeah, that was the health pool on the front line of Africa Blue was dipping pretty fast, and healing was definitely in place there, but Chris is going to go down.
Yeah, they lose Chris, but they win the fight, so he's got time to come back. He is Lucio. He gets back to the point pretty quick. Africa Blue may try to just dive this and capitalize on it, but I think it's about it. Adam should be back around now. Recry looping around behind.
Yeah, Hoon gets the nano boost, though. Comes up first for Meta Athena because they were healing the front line more effectively. Means that Ana going to have that advantage. Amon still working up to his, and minute left. Got 1 ultimate out, but Hoon, he was really helped out, is going to have a self-destruct as a result of that nano boost, and that should be able to clear everybody off the point long enough in overtime to win.
I mean, Chris
you'd have to think they have Tac Visor as well, so.
Chris is very close to the sound barrier. Libero's close to the Dragon Blade.
It's looking real bad. They have to, Arhan needs to use this nano blade extremely effectively, but with the sound barrier up, they don't, and such a small amount of time, they don't have much wiggle room.
Yeah. About now. He's taking a lot of damage. They're really chasing him down. He gets to the health path in the end, though. Recry, meanwhile, on the point right now, looking for a target for that Pulse Bomb. May not get to use it, though, as kills come in spades for Meta Athena. Libero on that Genji. Put that Dragon Blade to good use, and they have chased Africa Blue off the point again. And now, just 12 seconds remain. That should be a full hold. Africa Blue with one last desperate attempt, maybe, if Mano can get there in time.
Taking a lot of damage.
Unlikely.
As he approaches the point, though, and this Ana not going to get there in time.
Mano's on the point, pops a Primal Rage. That's going to give Afrika Blue time to get there. Adam drops a Sound Barrier on the Lucio. Meanwhile, Libero just doing the damage he can.
Mano getting kills.
Trying to build up another Dragon Blade, but Afrika Blue does get the kills.
Trying to deal with this in the back line. He's going to take out the Widowmaker, but the Pulse Bomb not used. He's going to die. So in overtime, looks like Afrika Blue have punched through thanks to Mano with that Primal Rage. And the fact that Lucio also managed to get over the terrain, over the bridge, and get into the back line at the same time.
Oh, man. And on the Meta Athena side, Chongsik popped the Primal Rage to try to get there and delay. And he had to immediately turn around.
I mean, it's not the end of the world. They still have a huge ultimate advantage. Dongyun has to be a god with his self-destruct, but Hoon has one to answer in kind.
Trying to chase Libero down now. Libero, the nano.
Oh, he doesn't get the kill.
Okay,
well,
Saya
player.
Yeah. He gets in the end. Arhan, can't reflect that blade, man. You can avoid the damage, but that's it. Recry, meanwhile, on the Widowmaker, just trying to find those picks, and he does find one on Chongsik. We're in OT, but Afrika Blue is on the point right now. Self-destruct does take down Libero, as Afrika Blue tries to keep people alive on the point. It's only Arhan at the moment, and he's got the Dragon Blade, does not survive, and that may be about it soon. We'll see. Yeah, that's that. So one more point for Afrika Blue.
Still by the skin of their teeth.
It is big.
Getting point A, and that pushes them one step closer to a draw when it looked unlikely that they were even going to take 1 point. So Meta Athena collapsed in their defense. You saw that Libero was running interference, trying to delay people from getting into the back line, but they may have needed that little bit of extra damage on the point in order to successfully defend, and perhaps a bit too spread out on that defense. And Afrika Blue makes it 3-2, and they have a chance here to full hold and win the map.
Yeah. About as good of a chance as you could hope for. It's 3 minutes and 6 seconds available for Meta Athena to take point A and at least tie it, so they do have a decent amount of time to work with.
I like the fact that we are going to see Saya player again on the Widowmaker, presumably. He did get the extremely fast pick on point A onto Amon last time. Adam is using his Lucio sonar to try and hear what the composition is. He's going to know it's a McCree now.
Yep, you'd think it'd be harder to hear things going on outside with those headphones on.
But no, the headphones are for the sonar, Doa.
Apparently.
Lucio would be great on a submarine.
Would he?
Yeah.
Sonar. There's not a lot of room to rollerblade around inside of submarines. I don't think he'd be very happy.
He may not be happy, but he'd be damn good at it.
He tries to drop the beat, and he just goes right through the floor. That's not good. Okay. Saya player back on the Widowmaker again. Big chunk taken out of Dongyun to start things off.
And just doing the scouting, though, and obviously that's going to build Amon up when it comes to his ultimate. Going to see the D.Va again, but no support pickoff. This time he does know where the Ana is on the high ground. And they're going to try and use that Orb of Discord to quickly melt the tank line.
Yep. That's the idea. Saya player just waiting for people to come down, but Afrika Blue not willing to really show anyone until Arhan jumps in. Oh, so close, man. If that had been a headshot.
But he got him anyway. Chris actually turned him onto him with the Discord Orb and sniped him. So great awareness from Chris to get that kill. Mano now starting to clean things up, though.
Moon did die, so Meta Athena may have a hard time continuing to push this. We'll see. Still going in for the moment. Libero just firing from the side, 50% towards that Dragon Blade right now.
I mean, the thing is they still actually have their Genji alive and building ult percentage, so they're going to be quite happy about that. They know where everybody is now. Yep. Arhan actually reflecting Nuss, so that's it's a bit of a pain right there. Nuss all that by himself, man. And side player's like, okay, time to make a swap.
Yeah, I think it was a right click in the end, but that's the reflect didn't help anyway. And that's going to be that for Meta Athena's attack this time around. They got to pull back and regroup. Mano punching the air. So angry.
And the McCree. Now they know Recry is on the Tracer, and so the Tracer and the Genji, they're going to be happier with that McCree. The flashbang, try and punish. As Mano defends on the high ground, Libero up there as well. Waiting for the effects of that biotic grenade to go off before he can use the Dragon Blade.
It takes on Recry. Adam goes down as well. Libero with the Dragon Blade. Gonna maybe get the kill on Nuss. He does manage to finish him off. Arhan trying to defend here. Self-destruct. Not gonna claim any victims. But the point,
that was a great kill onto Arhan. He got up onto the high ground and won the Genji duel, dashing up, getting the damage with the melee attack, and now that's going to be Meta Athena taking point A and evening up our score. Adam still is able to use his ultimate, and Amon has the nano boost. And Meta Athena is going to be coming in with their trance and the self-destruct, so they can zone out this point pretty effectively.
Minute to go. As Meta Athena charges towards point B here. Just waiting for a chance to use that self-destruct and throws it towards the spawn. Does he get anyone? No, not quite. Able to get back in the suit though. Changsik meanwhile trying to zone the supports away. Sound barrier comes in for Afrika Blue. Transcendence in response from Chris on the side of Meta Athena, but everybody's going to get booped away. And Afrika Blue will be pushed back for the moment. Meta Athena building a lot onto this control meter here. Gets a kill into Mono. That could be big. They've nearly got it. That's another one. Are they actually going to win it? 4-3, they do.
So much of that was Chris, Noah. So
yeah.
A big part of that last push was not only the Transcendence, but the orbs of Discord from Chris and the target selection around those orbs by the rest of the team were causing Meta Athena to win the frontline battle, the tank war, every single time. The damage was just there. They took out the Diva while she was nano boosted, so huge that they desuited her before she could do even more damage. And again, the Orb of Discord and the target selection, the work that was being done. So nicely played, and Saya player also with the clutch shots on the Recry's Tracer at the end of that just to clean everything up. But why they were so reluctant to jump on the point was that with Mono and the Orb of Discord, he had to stay inside the Winston shield. If he tried to get back on the point right there, he would have just blown up.
Yeah. Well, that puts Afrika Blue in a pretty tough position.
Yeah,
this is awful. Yeah, the next two maps, they have a hybrid map or escort map next, which they have not done great on. They're 1-0-2 on the season for that, and then a hybrid map. We all know how those go for Afrika Blue.
Meta Athena has only played, they are 0-1 on escort, so
yeah.
They've only played that one map, but just given what we've seen from both of these teams and the fact that Meta Athena is so disciplined and surprising on some of these attacks, I think they're going to be pretty comfortable. It's like on Dorado.
Oh, they looked so good on Eichenwald. It's maybe not it wouldn't be surprising to think of them winning Dorado here, but we'll see. Big chance for Meta Athena to go to the winner interview here and put themselves at a 20-match win streak, which is pretty much unheard of.
Yeah, their real test is probably coming up, though. The winner of our next game is going to be by far the hardest opponent that they have had to face, and they haven't been looking quite as strong today when we think about Hoon not being on the Zarya and them tinkering with some other styles of play. They certainly haven't had the same level of ult economy as some of the top teams in this league, so I think Meta Athena still has work to do, but they're doing well so far.
So far, so good. Time to go to Dorado and see if Meta Athena close this one out, win it 3-1, or Afrika Blue will tie things up and force a map 5. Let's get in the game and find out. Welcome to Dorado, where there is constantly confetti falling from the sky. In fact, they've learned how to seed the clouds with confetti.
Wow, nice.
I know. So it's kind of like there's piñatas above all the time.
Yeah, making a mess every day, ruining the environment.
Hey, maybe it's biodegradable confetti. It's the future. It's a bright future with Overwatch, Monte Cristo. I am sure it's biodegradable confetti.
Just raining from the sky at all times.
Maybe it even tastes good. Maybe you can eat it.
Well, I hope you can't eat it, because that would cause a lot of problems with the natural world if animals could eat it.
Well, maybe it's healthy for animals.
Yeah, but you don't want to give them too much food, Noah. Otherwise, you just get fat animals. Nobody likes fat animals in nature.
Hey, think about it, though. If these are dangerous, poisonous animals, then you absolutely want a fat animal that can't chase you.
Well, I believe that perhaps maybe it's not just all about humans and what can chase humans. Maybe it's about the balance in the ecosystem.
Well, I don't know.
It's okay, though. The EPA will be gone soon, and we'll all be done with that
Apparently
concept.
true. I've become an Omnic sympathizer too, so I'm fine with this. No more animals, no life, only robots. Zenyatta, Bastion, Oriza main. That's me.
All right, Recray on the Pharah, and is going to see that Reinhardt. Meta Athena. Running with the Roadhog for Libero, and Saya player on the McCree, anticipating that the Genji will be coming through, as we so frequently see on this point. But, of course, having that McCree useful, because the Pharah does have some trouble at this first point getting into a position where you can actually deal a lot of damage without the McCree being able to shoot you.
He's doing okay so far. Oh, never mind. I had to say it. I'm sorry. Caster curse. It's a caster curse. I'm sorry, man.
It's all right.
Your team is still winning the fight. It's okay.
You only curse the player, not the team.
That's right.
Got enough damage down and have forced the McCree well back towards the gate, so didn't necessarily have that same amount of DPS on the front line, and Recry is not going to be going with the Pharah any longer.
All right, yeah, going with the McCree now.
Okay, Libero has switched to the Diva, and Arhan poking up at that high ground does to give Donghyun a pretty decent Zarya charge.
Yep.
He's almost there with the Dragon Blade himself.
A really good start for Freaka Blue. Winning point A pretty handily. Now we'll see if they can dislodge Meta Athena from the high ground here at point B. That could be tough. Although when you get the kill on Saya player like that, it certainly helps.
Yeah, no follow-up to the flashbang with only the Lucio 2, so they can't even trade kills under that circumstance.
There we go.
It doesn't matter when Nuss is able to snipe that Genji out of the sky, but the rest of his team continues to fall back.
Yep.
Chris tried to delay the cart, and so did Hoon, but he bought time, a few seconds, but not much else, as Libero is forced to retreat.
Oh, that is really rough. That's going to be most of point B as well.
And Africa Blue sitting on a pile of ultimates.
Yeah.
And Meta Athena not really having much available to them quite yet. They will in a few seconds.
Donghyun being very sneaky here. Really wants to get that good Graviton Surge in the back lines, and it looks like he's going to get his wish. Jumping down, he's got it. Where's the follow-up? They're coming in. Mano gets a kill on the Hoon immediately. Donghyun just punching away. Mano with a couple kills on that Reinhardt. And now Saya player with the Deadeye, not finding any kills with that. And Africa Blue is in a great spot to take point B.
Donghyun's been going off on this map so far.
Yeah.
Great engage, waited until he saw the Diva clear out, so it was a guaranteed nano boost. Mano going so hard in on the point. He's opening up a lot of space, and Arhat's going to help him get the kill into Changshik immediately. So Africa Blue is highly successful so far on Dorado.
Yeah, no kidding. This is probably one of the best offensive performances we've ever seen them put into a map with a pay build.
Yeah, unfortunately, even though they got the Reinhardt kill, because you have to wait for the door to open at the start of Dorado, you're not really gaining that much time. Mano also just whiffing the Earth Shatter.
Yeah, not a great Earth Shatter. And Africa Blue may need to back away. Yeah, they've lost aim, and they're going to have to probably regroup here. Oh, Donghyun going real deep, but hey, you know, why not build a little bit more ult charge? You're going to die anyway. That's a reset.
That was actually some crazy aggressive play.
Yeah.
To try and push that when they had just blown all of their ultimates on the point B push. Pretty optimistic, and now going to give some ults over to Meta Athena, including that Graviton Surge. Arhan is creeping with the cart.
We've seen this one before.
Yeah, we've definitely seen this before from Arhan.
Stealth pushing it, man. Oh, but Saya player finds him.
See, the problem with that, though, is that now you're in a 5v6, right?
Yeah.
And, okay, you move the cart a little bit, but you have to back off. Cart's going to roll backwards. You sort of lose everything that you've gained, and you lose much time, too.
I mean, these Arhan solo missions really need to stop. It looks cute, but at the end of the day, it really does feel like Arhan has been the biggest thorn in the side of Africa Blue, I think. Uh-oh. Oh, that's going to be rough. Oh, yeah, that's a good fight for Meta Athena. Graviton Surge into some easy hammer blows with Changshik.
And the best part for Meta Athena is they used one ult to get that. Didn't overcommit, even though the Diva was there, or the Diva was on the side of Meta Athena, so no Diva there, just easily able to pick up all the damage off of that play. Africa Blue didn't use anything of their own, though. So
I think they knew they were pretty dead when that began.
You get caught in that room, and it's a bad time. Arhan is waiting.
Okay. All right. Off the self-destruct, I guess, is a Graviton Surge now. Africa Blue drops the sound barrier as well. Both teams using that sound barrier. Saya player gets a Deadeye kill and a mono somehow. It's a bit surprising. The payload is moving though.
Where was Arhan during all that, though? Like they dropped the Graviton Surge, but Arhan was waiting off on the side.
Yeah, that was very odd.
That was a big commitment for not much gone. They used 2 ultimates to lose a member.
Now, they got the sound barrier out from Meta Athena at least. They are still coming in with more ults on the Africa Blue side.
Yeah, now they at least can use the Nano Blade to continue to push, as
Yeah.
long as it doesn't get shut down here by Changshik's Earth Shatter.
Being annoying, there's the Deadeye from Recry. No kills though, Saya player just going to take him down before it goes
Arhan
off.
gets shattered.
Oh boy, that's not good. Arhan taken out before he can do anything, and it's going to be another team fight win for Meta Athena. It looks like Changsik charging through the middle of everything, but doesn't really matter if his team follows, and they will win this fight handily.
Well, that was the nightmare scenario. 3 ults absolutely nullified for just an Earth Shatter, because Saya player made the huge play onto the McCree, and then Arhan was in a corridor with a Reinhardt with Earth Shatter, like the worst place you want to be in that scenario.
Wow, Recry is swapping over to the Hanzo now.
He's been great on Hanzo in the past. So.
He has been, and he's going to need to find some pretty huge picks if they want to get that payload moving.
I mean, I like the switch. You have 2 minutes. Donghyun's at 75% of an ultimate, as that's going to be a couple kills already for Africa Blue.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting the Arhan Roadhog, as Africa Blues changed up their comp big time to come in at this one.
Yeah, it's a smart swap.
Yeah.
If you see the Zarya now with the Graviton Surge, and you can work your way up to that Dragon Strike if you need it, they're going to be easily able to try and use this Graviton to try and just zone them out. There it goes.
That's that.
Where's Changshik's? Okay.
Oh, Changsik charges through. They got to do that. Saya player able to blink out as well. Now Graviton Surge coming in for Meta Athena. Couple kills though. Changsik with the nano boost. Going to be hard to stop him at this point. And yeah, that should be another hold for Meta Athena for the moment. Drops the Earth Shatter in the end. And Africa still trying to go with what they've got. Nobody's handled Recry yet. Gets Changsik with the scatter arrow. And Recry ignored through that fight and did some decent damage. Not enough, apparently.
The spawn just too close.
Yeah.
And the nano boost onto Changshik buys the time necessary for everybody to reset. And though Recry was getting kills with that scatter arrow, has the Dragon Strike now, and Donghyun is nearly back up again at that Graviton. Is he going to wait for the Graviton and try for that big Dragon Hole combo or not?
Probably be a good idea. I mean, they've got 30 seconds left, and I don't know if he can make it in time.
That's a really tough call. I think Amon should use the Nano Boost on a Donghyun to get his Graviton Surge up, and then they should combo.
Could be. Nano Boost on a Donghyun. That's what they're going to try to do. Diving in, trying to build that charge as fast as he can, up to 90.
Here we go.
There it is. And there's a Dragon Strike going through, executed pretty flawlessly. And if they can kill Saya player, they can get this payload moving. Hasn't gone down just yet. Still up. Wow, Saya player, they're having a really hard time. Took him down finally, but there's Chris on the payload, still stalling it out. We're into overtime now. The payload moves. Changsik diving in along with Libero. The payload still stalled, and now the respawns come. There's Hoon. There's a sleeping Arhan on top of the ice wall. Taking a nap as well. That could be a problem. Gets the ice block off just in time. Recry gets Saya player with a scatter arrow again as Africa still pushing, and they may have enough. If they can get Chris, they can get 3 points, and they will.
That was really nicely done by Africa Blue. That was a level of coordination that has been rare to see from them. Yeah. First off, I love the changes to the composition. They know they still have 2 minutes left, so they go for a pick comp with Hanzo and Roadhog and try and win that way. And then at the end, very good coordination around those use of ultimates. They could have just thrown the Dragon Strike away, but instead they wait. They know the tools they have available. Use the Nano Boost to get Donghyun that last 30% to the Graviton Surge, and then hit the Mega Combo. They execute it nearly perfectly, and that rolls them, even though it's in overtime, to a point C capture, and it allows them to complete the map. So, love what we saw there. Africa Blue certainly looking much better here on Dorado than they did on Eichenwald.
Well, that's huge because, weirdly enough, they had, and here's that combo again, they had this coordination in the past. This is what we were kind of used to seeing from them, especially defensively, in Season 1, and then for whatever reason, this season, it all fell apart. But now maybe, finally, with the time off, they can start to kind of rebuild that good team coordination.
Yeah, communication definitely there though. That was an impressive setup, and it's really fun to see teams getting to that level of play where there are all these decisions that can be made around the tactics and the ultimates that you have in the bank, and how you can get other players into the space they need to be to get the combos off and really win those team fights hard. Very nicely done.
Yeah. A clutch wombo combo, and Africa Blue sitting on 3 points here on Dorado. Now Meta Athena, it's on them. Try to equalize, and that's not easy. That 3rd point on Dorado can be pretty tough to take.
Yeah, it definitely can be, and we're going to see how well Meta Athena can do it. I hope Libero sticks on the Hanzo. He's been a wonderful Hanzo player.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen it from him on King's Row.
Well, funny enough, we've got 2 very good Hanzos in this match between Recry and Libero. Yeah.
Very fun.
Spot everybody up on the high ground there.
What's headed their way.
Yeah.
Fire strikes thrown out, optimistic, and they will just retreat now, of course, to the choke.
Now Libero's hunting for picks with that scatter arrow. Ooh, nearly gets Ammon. Ammon with only about a 3rd health remaining after that. Close call. Arhan looping around the back.
I want to see if he can get any full charge from the flank there, but not going to work.
Yeah.
Libero gets a lot of good information with these sonic arrows. He really is sussing out the team.
Yeah.
And their positioning, and Recry is not, or Arhan rather, has not been able to get into the flank effectively. Now it might be his time to get some damage down. Libero low, but healed up rapidly.
Yeah, they really need to pay attention. That Hanzo is definitely fragile. They got to keep him high health. Good scatter arrow, going and doing a lot of damage. Saya player with the kill on Recry. Good start there. Libero nearly has Mano down, and one Reinhardt left click might do it. Saya player eventually gets Arhan as well. Now they're still chasing Mano. Goes with a scatter arrow over the wall. There's the pin. There you go.
He flanked around and surprised him. Always love to see that. Just zooming in, grabbing the kill. Fortunately, he is going to die to Amon immediately afterward. Libero just trying to use these long sight lines to prevent them from contesting on the low ground.
Yeah.
And peeking up right now. Saya player taking the very long, or not the very long approach. He'll actually be heading onto the ledge. We've seen people dislodge Reinhardts with the use of a flashbang by coming around the windows before.
Right, just pop it over the shield. Works out pretty well. Doesn't look like that's what they're going to go for, though.
No, he had to drop down because Arhan was harassing him.
Oh, that's going to be a Dragon Hole. That's a big one. Wow. All right, well, I thought he was going to get more from that, actually. Looks like they had 3 in the Graviton Surge, but only ended up getting Dongyun. Either way, that payload seriously moving.
Oh, he missed it!
Oh,
that
was
is
so close.
Oh, that was nearly a one-shot there onto Amon. Would have really helped out. Push through point B.
All right, it's Nano Boost time. Changzik going after the Nano Boosted Genji. Oh, gets the Zarya shield just in time. Arhan staying up. Saya player with that dead eye. Is he going to find anything? Turns around and gets it on the Dongyun. And Recry.
Recry.
Nice headshot. Wow, Saya player taking names, and Meta Athena rolling through point B.
Big investment, and Arhan got the ultimate onto him, but wasn't able to do much with the nano boost in the end because the Reinhardt was in his face, had to retreat, also had the biotic grenade, so no incoming healing. And more picks come off immediately. Libero going to take down Arhan with that scatter arrow. Recry switches over to the soldier.
All right. And Libero has just been such a terror on this Hanzo.
I love watching this guy play Hanzo.
It's seriously great. Just hit Adam mid-jump on the Lucio.
And I hate Hanzo, so when I like somebody playing Hanzo, it actually means something.
Well, you know, we don't get to see good Hanzos very often in our game, so it is a treat.
Well, it's also because there are so many players on the Korean server whose name is just Hanzo.
Oh, yeah.
In the game, and they only play Hanzo.
Yeah, you think you've got a lot of Hanzos on NA or EU? No. No.
My favorite times is when there's a guy whose ID is Hanzo on both my team and the enemy team, and they both only play Hanzos. It's great.
Hanzo, there's also a ton of people who are just named Overwatch on the Korean server. I don't understand. Is it really that hard to think of a name? Apparently not. Apparently it is. Again, Graviton Surge, they're going to pop it. And where's the follow-up? A lot of damage going on to the Afrika side. Hoon diving in, going to drop his own Graviton Surge, and there it is. Another one, and that is a bit better.
The Dragon Hole combo, again, Recry pops over to the payload to buy them some time, but the Hanzo was underneath and shot it along the floor on the corridor to nail the combo. Excellently done. That's not going to be the last time that we see Africa Blue defending here.
Oh, Deadeye time. Saya player. Oh, he gets 2. He got 2. That was a brave Deadeye, but he got 2 in the end.
I mean, that was a brave peek by Recry, realistically, Doa. He sort of asked for that in the end, and that might actually be exactly what Meta Athena needs to clear a very good time on Dorado.
That's a 3-man sound barrier, so Africa Blue, oh, nice! Good flashbang on Aron as he comes back up the wall. Africa Blue, Mano trying to just stay alive on the point, but he can't do it. Now,
Chris died in his ult animation, though, so there isn't a sound barrier, but there is a giant Dragon Strike, and that's going to be it.
That's that, man. Wow.
Ooh, 3:10 left.
No kidding.
That's
Athena.
a very good time. It's going to be extremely difficult now for Africa Blue to come back unless there is an insane overtime push.
Yep. Well, Meta Athena, again, just showing us that awesome coordination that they've been using to stomp people all season long, and it's a beautiful thing, you know?
This last map, Dorado, really has been the highlight of the series. Both teams have been playing pretty well. And
I like how
both teams showing us the Zarya Hanzo ult combos, which is super fun.
I like how Africa Blue, uses that to complete their offensive round, and then here comes Meta Athena, like, you know what? We're just going to use it all map long. Like, that's a good idea. We haven't done that for a while. Libero, get on the Hanzo.
Libero is getting off the Hanzo now. That didn't.
You want to rephrase that? Oh, wow. I mean, you know, some people really like Hanzo, I guess.
Well, we talked about that, but anyway,
that's a thing.
He'll be changing to Pharah. Let's put it that way.
Oh well, okay. Let's watch the replay, guys. Well, here's.
I mean, that's just a gorgeous play. He drops down to follow up on that combo from the safest possible location, and also where they won't see it coming.
I thought without Cox in a series, we'd finally be able to have a professional match, Monty. But
I'm sorry, I ruined it for us.
Can't take you anywhere. Here comes Africa Blue on their second offensive round. We'll see what Recry can get done on the Pharah.
Yeah, Pharah versus Pharah battles. And again, Arhan sticking to the Genji that has worked for him traditionally. Still up against Saya players McCree, though, which has been outstanding at
the Saya player
shutting down some of these DPS.
I was going to say, Saya player handled Arhan's Genji very effectively last round.
The thing is, though, when we have these Pharah battles, like, Libero has a lot less pressure on him versus a Genji, and he's going to kill everybody in the choke point.
Jeez, wow, Recry.
So, I mean, Recry, that was actually just poor decision-making from a Pharah player right there. Like, you do not try and kill the other Pharah.
Yeah.
Well, if you just saw Libero, he was just firing rockets into the choke point and melting the front line of Africa, and,
5 seconds.
Recry's trying to take a weird duel.
Yeah, that was a bit odd. It's overtime. Africa Blue has not pushed the payload very far. And Athena trying to hold. Boone coming from behind. Doesn't have the ultimate just yet, and he dies right before he gets it. That could be
that was way too aggressive.
Amount of time bought by Africa Blue. Yeah, I think they got a little bit overeager there. Pharah duel again. Meanwhile, Chongsik comes in on the Reinhardt. They've still got Recry on that far there, and there we go. OT. So Meta Athena with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to push that payload basically nowhere.
Through the choke.
Yeah.
Well, I hope Africa Blue has some really aggressive defense where they are actually going to contest the payload right out of the doors. Because you have to do that now. You can't fall back to the typical defender position where you have that big advantage of the singular choke point. They're going to have to get real creative.
I mean, it's time to go for the Africa special, which is the Symmetra, the Torbjorn. Arhan can play the Bastion, maybe. Bastion can still headshot.
True. That's true.
He can still headshot in this patch, so.
They've got to do something crazy, and it sure doesn't look like they are in terms of composition. Now, their positioning, I mean, look at that. Like, you can't defend there. There's so many things that Meta Athena can do right now. You just play Mei D.Va and you ult that choke and then you win, basically.
Well, Meta Athena, how about that? On the verge of 20 match wins in a row to send them to the winners match here in the round of 8 Group B. Crazy run for these guys.
It's 4 minutes and 10 seconds because of the overtime minute gain, too.
Exactly, yeah.
Jeez, this
Hello,
is...
Candle. Here we go. Side player looking for the picks on the side. And Libero back on the Hanzo again. So they're going double sniper initially. But a pick could mean an easy win here. So it's an interesting and maybe not too bad of an idea to start with. Creating those firing lines. Arhan pretty low, I think. Yeah, that's right. Saya player takes him out. Point blank. He didn't have a lot of health remaining anyway. Didn't even need the headshot there. Libero and double sniper. It may be terrible in your solo queue game, but it is perfect right here.
That Athena special, man. They've done it on Kings Row. We're seeing it on Dorado now. Love it when we see it from these guys.
Toxic just posing on the payload as that is that. A freaking
Adam,
oh hi. I'm still a liar! That's going to be that. And all right, that is going to be that. That is that. That's that.
It's definitely
it's that. There we go. Meta Athena will take the match 3-1 and go to a 20-game match win streak. Insane results for these
20
guys.
best of 5.
20 best of 5s, yeah.
To be clear on that one. It's but that is
20 matches.
Yeah, very impressive stuff. And they will put themselves in the winner's match right now, even though I think these guys are still an underdog to lead this group.
Absolutely.
They're still well on their way to the Royal Road as it stands right now.
That's a good start. You really couldn't ask for anything more if you are Meta Athena, but the tricky part is they're going to have to play the winner of our next match, which is going to be Kongdu Panthera versus LW Blue, and neither one of those opponents are anything to joke about.
No, not at all. And this is really, this was the undercard for the fight of the night.
The main event is coming up.
The main event is coming up, and I am extremely excited to see how LW Blue faces off against Kongdu Panthera. LW Blue, the reigning champions from IEM Gyeonggi, and Kongdu Panthera, the only team who has yet to lose a map in this tournament. So exciting stuff. But for now, congrats to Meta Athena. Pretty dominant win.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, Afrika Blue, I will say, I think looked better in this match than they did in the group stages.
Yes.
However, the same problems that were plaguing them, Arhan going on these solo missions, lack of coordination for the most part in ultimates, they're still there. Those issues have not been solved. The role swap, I don't even know if it was really that effective, to be honest with you. I think Mano looked a little bit better than Adam, but
Mano
it
was also one of those times where Mano looked a lot better on Winston than Reinhardt, too.
Yeah,
so they were much more comfortable with Mano on the Winston, who I thought performed well. But once they were forced to switch to Reinhardt compositions, he didn't do quite as many great things on that hero.
Well, Meta Athena now gets to sit back and relax and watch this next best of 5, as you guys all should, because it is going to be awesome. Kongdu Panthera versus LW Blue. I can't wait, man. This is the match I've been looking forward to all through the quarterfinals.
This is what I wanted to see, Doa, because there have been so many questions about both of these teams for the last couple of weeks. Are they capable of hanging with teams like Lunatic High and Runaway? Because LW Blue didn't end up in first place in the group with Lunatic High, but they're still my favorite for the tournament. I think LW Blue is going to be here to play tonight.
We'll find out. And if you're an